My good people, my good people. Hello, world. I'd like to welcome y'all back to the show that's hot with your boy Rob Scott. This is Rise 26, baby, on the road. Even though technically I'm not on the road, this is not my usual setting. I'm usually in front of my backdrop, bringing y'all the most entertaining sports news, the hottest sports conversation in the nation. But I'm on the road, with my 9 to 5 job. I build shows, I do things like that, and I'm in a hotel right now. But it couldn't keep me away from you. We got so much to talk about. We got a lot of things that went down this weekend. I call this one upset upset Tuesday because we saw so many upsets this weekend. We saw the 49ers get upset. We saw the Eagles get upset. It was just a lot of upsets going on. We got a lot to talk about. So, as I always tell you guys, make sure you get your favorite drink, kick your feet up, get your favorite smoke, and tune in to the hottest sports conversation in the nation with your boy Rob Scott. This is Rob 2 Cents, baby. And we gotta get into it. First, I know we all hate to talk about it. Me being in Chicago, when you see the Bulls hat, I know we hate to talk about it, but we gotta talk about this clown show known as the Chicago Bears. Because once again, the Bears are back to their losing ways. I'm talking about we faced a team that didn't have their star player, and yet we found a way to lose. Because it's just what the Chicago Bears do. I mean, where do I begin? The Bears fall victim to the Vikings, 19-13. Justin Fields was only 6 of 10 for the day with 58 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Because once again, the Bears cannot protect anybody. The Bears, the offensive line, I'm pretty sure Justin Fields goes to sleep at night and he thinks about the pain that he is about to go through the following week because the Bears can't protect anybody. I mean, look at this. Look at this play on the screen. Look at that. Even the backup quarterback is getting hit. The Vikings defense, who's been questionable all year, had it look like the second coming of the 85 Bears versus these Chicago Bears. It's horrible. Thomas Baggett came in and did everything he can. The undrafted rookie came in. He looked pretty sharp, throwing quick passes, and boom, he gets hit. I'm sorry. Right now, I'm calling for the jobs of everybody in the Bears coaching organization, the coaching staff. Matt Eberflus, who was 4-19 as a head coach, who's supposed to be a defensive specialist. Matt Eberflus, who was coaching the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, who has came into our Chicago Bears home and just disrupted everything. The Bears are basura. Hey, what's going on, Mike Hughes? I appreciate you for showing up. I appreciate you for showing up. Yes, the Bears are basura. I can't show Dylan's other post, but I appreciate you for tuning in. But it's serious. You're a head coach of this organization, and it seems like you have lost the complete organization. I mean, you talk about your 4-19 as a head coach. You was a former defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. Our defense sucks. And looking on the offense, Luke Getsy, you got to go. Somebody send Luke Getsy back to Green Bay because this is horrible what we have to endure as the Chicago Bears fans. I'm telling you right now, you come from playing with Aaron Rodgers, being the quarterback coach for the Green Bay Packers. And now you see, when you don't have a generational talent, your flaws get exposed. You are not a great offensive coordinator. I had one of my young boys come to me. You know what I'm saying? My boy Ethan. Shout out to Ethan. And I was talking to him. And he said he just went to the Bears game this Sunday. And even he questioned, a guy that doesn't even play football, questioned, why are the Bears calling so many damn screen calls? Why are you not letting Justin Fields, be who he is, run outside the pocket, make things happen, give the ball to DJ Moore, playmaker, a guy that only had 5 receptions for 51 yards against the Vikings. Why won't you let the dogs go hunt? Because you want to call these several screen passes, and it seems like you just can't coach at all. And Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach for the Chicago Bears, you gotta go. I mean, right now, the Bears offensive line can't block anything. They won't even pitch defenders. As soon as Justin Fields call hype, the man is in fear for his life. We as Chicago fans cannot even determine if Justin Fields is good or bad. Because how can we determine how good Justin Fields can be when as soon as he call hype, he's seeing defenders all in his face? Thank you. I'm fed up, but I'm not willing to pay another bill. If it was my TV, I probably would have tossed it out the window because watching this basura show that's known as the Bears is just hurting my feelings. Now, Justin Fields is hurt. He received a dislocated thumb in the loss against the Vikings. I heard he popped it back in place. I don't know if those sources are true or not, but I wouldn't have wanted to go back on the field either. I wouldn't have wanted to go play behind that offensive line. We did the same thing to Jay Cutler. Remember, Jay Cutler came in. He was supposed to save us. He was supposed to finally be the quarterback that we deserve. I remember when Jay Cutler came from the Denver Broncos, we were so excited. We got Jay Cutler. We got John Fox. We got proven guys that win. And Jay Cutler got hit so much that the man started having the shakes doing interviews. It looked like he was getting ready to start the Thriller dance. I mean, just go back and look at old Jay Cutler tapes. You hit that shoulder roll. I was finna hit it with him. Because I'm just telling you right now, this is what the Bears do. Musa Muhammad once quoted that the Chicago Bears is where receivers go to die. And I'm changing the quote. Because unless we change something about our offensive line, the Chicago Bears is where quarterbacks go to die. Because we saw what happened to Jay Cutler. Nick Foles, who was just coming off one of the best games of his life in the Super Bowl, being able to beat the great legendary Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., came to the Bears and looked like basura. Andy Dalton, who was a comparable quarterback all those years for Cincy, came to the Bears and looked like basura. And now we got Justin Fields, a guy who played at Ohio State, a guy who was one of the top-ranked quarterbacks in the nation, a guy who made the Sports Illustrated cover by the great game he played against Clemson, and going out there and continuing to play that game, even injured, coming to the Bears organization and looks like trash. And that is not due to Justin Fields. That's due to the coaching of the Chicago Bears staff. This is horrible. Something has to be done. If I'm Ryan Poles right now, I am looking at Matt Eberflus, I'm looking at Luke Getsy, I'm looking at Chris Morgan, and I'm looking at any coach affiliated with the offensive side of the ball, and everybody got to go. Now, my boy Rick, a carpenter who I work with, shout out to my boy Rick, had me Google when has there ever been a time where we've seen a team get the first and second round pick, or the first and second pick in the NFL draft. And when I Googled, I found out that the Indianapolis Colts, the team of 1992, is the only team in all of history, in all the history of the four major professional sports, that being NFL, MLB, NBA, and hockey, NHL. Nobody has ever had the first and second pick in the draft but the 1992 Indianapolis Colts. And the way that it's looking now, the Chicago Bears might be the second team in history to have the first and second pick in the upcoming draft. Why? Because we own Carolina's pick. And Carolina look like they might not win the game. Maybe they'll win when they play us in 3 weeks. But they looking like they're not about to win the game. And the Bears are looking like they're just going to be completely trashed this season. It's horrible. It is tough being the Chicago fans. Hey, I appreciate you, Pops, for watching it. Hey, what would you do to fix it besides new coaches? You have to bring in new personnel, too. When you're looking in this draft, when you're looking at free agency, right now the Bears need to be focused on both the offensive line and the defensive line because we can't block nothing and we damn sure ain't getting to the quarterback. We cause absolutely no pressure. I mean, Kirk Cousins, had his way with us. You know what I mean? And you didn't even have Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson wasn't even there to play, and yet we can't be the team that only put up 19 points after Justin Fields had just had two great games. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say Justin Fields is blameless. To me, he holds on the ball entirely too long, and he has to get some type of pocket awareness. He has to know, he has to be able to feel when the heat is on, when the pressure is coming to him. And he just doesn't have that quarterback third eye. And that's one of the reasons he's constantly getting sacked. I'm not going to put it all on the Bears, but that offensive line, Chris Morgan, you got to go. I don't know what you're doing. I understand that the offensive line has had tremendous injuries, but damn, can you give him a little protection? Can he have at least 2 seconds to throw the ball? This is horrible. This is a complete clown show. And I'm just almost through with the Bears. I told you I'm a toxic Bear fan. And right now, y'all got me really pissed. Let's continue to move on in the NFL. As I said, this is the weekend of upsets. Our first upset, we saw the 49ers go against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, everybody has been scared of this 49ers team. You got Christian McCaffrey, a guy who continued his streak. Is now 15 straight consecutive games where he's had at least one touchdown. He is amazing. We know about what Brock Purdy can do. We know about what Deebo Samuel can do. We know what Brandon Ayuk can do. And we know what George Kittle can do. Remember, he just had the hat trick last game, scoring 3 touchdowns in a row. But it just didn't work out against the number 2 defense in the league in the Cleveland Browns. The 49ers lost 19-17. Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey suffering their first loss as San Francisco 49ers starters. Remember, they were undefeated. The 49ers were on the roll. They're looking like the scariest team in the league. Let's talk about it. Deebo goes out the very first. Well, he doesn't go out, but he gets hurt the very first play of the game. He goes, he leaves the game. He has a shoulder. That's one of your playmakers gone. And then we look at Christian McCaffrey, who was having a pretty decent game so far. He had 11 carries for 43 yards, and including one reception touchdown, as you saw on the highlight reel. And then he gets hurt, getting abdominal strain, gets hit in the abdomen area. And now they don't know when he's going to be able to return. Trent Williams, the star-studded offensive line for the 49ers, the guy who put Micah Parsons in his place, he gets his ankle rolled on. So now, even though he continued to play the game, he's now day-to-day. Those are 3 big losses for the San Francisco 49ers. And Brock Purdy came a little bit down to earth. He was 12 of 27 for 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. P.J. Walker threw for 2 interceptions. I mean, you lost to a team that really couldn't score. But P.J. Walker able to get the job done along with the Cleveland Browns. And now we're going to be keeping our eye on C-Mac with those rib injuries, Deebo with his shoulder injury, and Trent Williams, who luckily, from what I read, has avoided a high ankle sprain. And that's something as a football player that you don't want to get. You don't want to get a high ankle sprain because those are it's too hard to manage, and you really just have to ride it out. And let me tell you, every time you think that ankle feels better, because you're talking to a guy who sprained his ankle before, you twist that ankle the wrong way, you step the wrong way, that ankle just pops out of place a little bit, and you can re-injure yourself all over again. So right now, San Francisco is in uncharted waters because it looks like the Eagles were going to be the only undefeated team left in the NFL. But then what happened? The Eagles go and lose to the damn Jets 20-14. I'm telling you guys right now, it was crazy. The Jets was able to go out there and the defense put a hurting on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts threw 3 interceptions. That is not like Jalen Hurts. It was almost tough to see, but I have to give it to him. The guy was playing strong, and it even came down to the fourth quarter where they could have tied the game, make the score 15-15. The field goal kicker with 8 minutes left in the fourth missed a 37-yard field goal. The Jets are able to go on. Breece Hall able to run the ball in, score, and the Jets win the game. And now The Eagles joined the San Francisco 49ers as now losing their undefeated streak, and we have absolutely no undefeated teams left in the NFL. Now everybody's on equal footing, and for the Jets, they had lost their previous 12 meetings versus the Eagles. So they finally got their first win ever in franchise history over the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know it felt good. What's his name, Zach Wilson, able to throw a nice 2 point conversion, probably his best throw of the game. The Jets are not losing confidence. I know it sucked. Aaron Rodgers gets injured the first 4 plays of the upcoming season of the new season. He goes down. We had these high hopes to see the Aaron Rodgers Garrett Wilson connection, but that Jets defense is continuing to be strong, and they were able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm not gonna panic. It's just a bad day in the office. If you look at the NFC, if you look at the standings, the Eagles and the 49ers are still, to me, the best teams in the NFC. I'm not really trusting in the Cowboys, even though they had a decent victory on Monday Night Football going against the Chargers. That Cowboy defense did look great playing against Justin Herbert, making things tough. We know Justin Herbert didn't have his guy. He doesn't have Mike Williams out there, but he still got Keenan Allen, and Austin Eckler wasn't able to really get it going with that running game, and that Cowboys defense looks strong. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. As long as Dak is still the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, they're not going anywhere. As long as Jerry Jones is still not only president of operations but GM for that team and owner for that team, the Cowboys are not going anywhere. So my hopes are not up about the Cowboys, but I will have to say I'm going to give credit to the Detroit Lions because I did not see this coming. The Detroit Lions right now are running away with the NFC North. The Detroit Lions are looking stronger and stronger every day. They got studs on their defense like Aiden Hutchinson. They're just monsters. They're just beasts. Their receiving core, Amon Ross St. Brown. They got Reynolds over there. They got David Montgomery over there running strong. That Detroit Lions team is looking great, and I have to give credit where credit is due. Jared Goff has been playing out of his damn mind. Nobody saw this coming. The Detroit Lions are definitely for real. The Detroit Lions are definitely going to be making some noise in the playoffs, and teams are not going to want to play that team, especially being led by a great head coach in Dan Campbell, who I can tell I've had numerous conversations with guys who watch football, and everybody says the same thing. These boys look like they would run through a wall for Coach Campbell. And that's exactly what you need. You need guys that are, you need leaders that can bring the best out of your team, that can, you know, elevate the player of your team. You need guys that can be your Leonidas and to have all the 300 Spartans behind them and take a whole damn country to war. That's what Dan Campbell is doing. We look on the AFC side. The Dolphins are still looking strong. I'm telling you, I don't think nobody want to play the Dolphins in the AFC. They're 5-1. The Chiefs are 5-1, and the Ravens are 4-2, and the Bengals are slowly creeping back up. We've seen them have slow starts before, but Joe Burrow is starting to look like Smoking Joe. Jamar Chase made the statement, "I'm always open. Get me the damn ball." And that's exactly what Joe Burrow has been doing. And the Cincinnati Bengals have been looking like they're going to make a strong playoff push. Then I also have to give it up to the Jaguars. The Jaguars started off a little slow, but Trevor Lawrence is starting to go into form. They're 4-2 right now, leading the AFC South Division. And I'm telling y'all, the Jaguars they're gonna put up a fight. We saw that last year. Trevor Lawrence throwing, I think, 3 or 4 interceptions in the NFL playoffs and still coming back to win that game. That's a tough-minded kid. He's gonna have to get the turnovers down. But I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be an interesting playoff race, and I can't wait to discuss this the more closer we get to the playoffs. But I have to talk about a travesty. The Buffalo Bills were able to beat the New York Giants. And I know that doesn't sound like any alarming news. The Giants lost in a Sunday night football matchup 9-14 to the Buffalo Bills. But the travesty occurred with the missed pass interference call. I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that because to me it was horrible. Uh, uh, it was just, oh my God. You watch and judge for yourself.
Stay on his. Instead of switching it, they communicated it just enough out there to make the play happen. Best on best, Taron Johnson against Waller. No call, and game over. Got a little jersey tug right there.
No doubt. No doubt. A flag would have been understandable given a jersey pull, because you said it before. That's an automatic so often. Brian Daboll throws the headset exactly the way he did at the end of the first half. And Taron Johnson, who has been so good and steady for the Bills in that nickel spot, closes the deal. Barkley off the ankle injury comes in, gives the Giants so much in that second half. Sean McDermott and the Bills get out of here with a win.
Now, in order for a pass interference to not be called, you can do a little fighting, a little pulling, a little grabbing, but both players have to clearly be going for the ball. Both players have to both be looking for the ball. Your back cannot be turned as the ball is coming and you're grabbing and holding and just swinging your arms all willy-nilly, like so. That was a clear pass interference. Now, the refs had just called pass interference on the previous play, and that's how the New York Giants were able to get that close to the goal line. And I don't think they wanted to throw a second flag. But this is what brings me to my rant. I have to say, shame on you to these referees. I mean, I've been seeing referees on all sports just make horrible calls. You don't call the calls when you need to call them, and then you call BS calls when you need to let these boys play. That was a horrible call. I don't care how many flags you threw in the previous play. That was a clear pass interference, and I don't want to hear any reports the next day saying, "Oh, we should have called this call. We missed this call." There are several referees on the field. There's a studio with officials who have years of experience in officiating professional NFL games. You get to talk to people. You get to get their point of view. You have all sorts of camera angles, and yet you still do that dumb stuff. You still get the call blatantly wrong. You decide not to throw a flag because you threw a flag on the previous play. My thing with referees is if you're going to call these calls, be consistent. Call every call that gets violated. Don't pick and choose when you're going to call. That's the reason why people think professional sports are rigged. It's because you look at some of these things that referees do and you say you can't be that dense. You can't be this stupid. Are you serious? I just got to tell you right now, I'm getting tired of referees costing teams games, whether it's a lack of calls or whether you just call something stupid. These referees should get fined. Any referee who misses calls that blatant, I don't want to hear an apology. I want to see your pocketbook affected. I want to see your checkbook affected. And then once the money start getting affected, I bet you damn well every call gonna get called. You ain't gonna miss no more calls. Referees, you have to get it together. These people pay their hard-earned money to watch these players play. They want to see their teams win, and something like that pass interference that was missed was horrible. And they should start getting fined and or suspended. I stand on that. That's Rob's 2 cents on officiating in the NFL. Let's keep this thing going, man. The Colorado Buffs lose to Stanford 46-43. It was an epic letdown. Why was it a letdown? Because the Colorado Buffs were up 29-0 at halftime. I mean, you had Shador out there flexing. The Colorado Buffs were happy to welcome back Travis Hunter, who just missed like the previous 3 or 4 games. He comes back from his lacerated liver. He's out there playing both sides of the ball, which I think was a mistake, especially a guy just coming back from an injury like that. You don't want to overwork your stars. I understand he can play both sides of the field. I understand he can go over there and catch a great pass and then go back on the other end and make a great stand on defense as a corner, as a safety. But let me tell you something. A guy who just suffered a rib injury, who just had a lacerated liver, you don't want that guy playing both sides of the ball. Even during the night, he got hit pretty hard. He was able to stand up, and his team they looked like they were about to walk him off the field. He was able to go on his own power, but you can tell he was hurting from that hit. And unfortunately, it's football. We cool out here, but if I know your ankle hurting, I'm going low. If I know you just had a rib injury, oh, expect me to, I'm going to Bill Goldberg you right in the gut. I'm telling you, things like this, the same way I give Coach Prime praise, I'm going to also have to critique Coach Prime. And when your team loses a game in which they were up 29-0 at halftime, and you lose in double overtime, 46-43 to a team, that's not just the players. That's coaching. That's your team having a lack of focus. You need to reevaluate your defensive coordinators. You're going to have to reevaluate your offensive coordinators because the same thing I say about the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to say about the Colorado Buffs. They will not be successful until they're able to establish a run game. Shador going out there and throwing the ball 45 times ain't going to get it done. And I love Shador. I just did a Dat Boy Coles on Shador because of his clutchness in the fourth quarter. But I got to tell y'all about somebody who was also cold this week. We're going to talk about Alec Iomana because what he did against the Colorado Buffs was crazy. We're talking about a guy who had 13 receptions for 294 yards, averaging 22.6 yards per play, along with 3 touchdowns. The boy had a game, and he probably made one of the best catches I've ever seen. I want to try to find that for you. I had this in my video somewhere. I mean, he made one of the best catches I've ever seen, and the boy is good. I'm gonna find that catch for you guys. I mean, he caught the ball on Travis Hunter's back, and it was the most amazing catch I have ever seen. Give me 1 second to try to find this catch for you guys because it was simply amazing. Let's go ahead. We're gonna watch. I want y'all to see this. We gonna share this screen.
Financial tools?
I want you guys
got
to
the
check out
one-on-one
this
again down here.
Watch
And that's
this
where they
catch.
come battling.
Oh,
what a grab!
God.
What a highlight! Io Manor! Mind your manners, what a catch!
That'll make your Sports Center top 10.
He took it off of Travis Hunter's hat.
Holy cow. Have a night, Alec Iomana. Just watch this. The throw. He takes it, he traps it to his back of his helmet and pulls it off of it.
I'm telling y'all right now, man, that had to be the most amazing catch I've seen. That is definitely going down as one of Sports Center top plays of 2023 in any sports league, whether professional or college. That was an amazing catch. And when you have a game like that, when you have a game in which you're able to beat a deficit when you were down 29-0, when you're able to give your quarterback the biggest target in the world, catching 13 passes for 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 22.6 yards per play, Mr. Alec Iomana, that boy, cold. And I know right now, Dion, he took it tough. I understand. That's going to be something hard to come back from. But knowing what Coach Prime can do and who he is as a person, a man of faith, and a game changer as he was when he played football, and being a game changer as a coach in college, and what he has done for his son Shador, I know that the Buffs will be able to bounce back, and Coach Prime is going to have these guys ready to play. But, man, losing 29-0, it was horrible. And while I'm on my segments, I have to show y'all the goofball of the week. Now, everybody knows about Michael Penix Jr., who, after Caleb Williams had that tough loss as USC lost against Notre Dame, Michael Penix Jr., in a lot of people's eyes, is becoming the front runner to win the Heisman this year. Desmond Howard, a NFL or will be NFL Hall of Fame. I believe he's in the NFL Hall of Fame. You know, a crazy receiver, was crazy in the special teams, especially on the punt team. You know, also was a former Super Bowl MVP back in '97 when the Green Bay Packers won with him and Brett Favre and those boys. Had some interesting things to say about Michael Penix Jr. I know you guys know about the female rap artist Lotto, that she uses this statement for guys that's handling their business. She call it big penis energy. I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of if he was kind of almost mimicking what she was saying. I know he was trying to say big penis energy, but that name is too close to the other name in which we all thought he was saying. Check out this.
He's built relationships with the players. I tell you what, he's dealt with a lot of adversity to get here. He's grateful to be Washington's quarterback, and they know that every time he takes the field, he's going to bring that big penis energy. He's going to bring that big penis energy. He's going to bring that big penis energy. That's right, Harry. Let's go, baby.
I know he's made headlines everywhere. I had to talk about it. Hey, brother Desmond, I don't mean nothing bad. I know you're a great man. You know what I'm saying? You're a legend in the NFL. You've been doing your thing on College Game Day Live along with Lee Corso and my boy McAfee and them boys, man. But sometimes you just kind of gotta watch what you say. So due to that fact, man, ain't nothing but love for you. But my friend Desmond Howard, you do get goofball of the week. But let's get this energy back rolling because, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA is right around the corner. The season will be starting October 24th. And I'm going to have my chair pulled up. I'm going to have my cup full of whatever I want to drink at that time. And you're going to see the most happiest person ever because I've been waiting on the game of basketball to come back. I mean, hey.
Here's Massey with Vassell rocketing down the lane, handing to Jack hammers it in.
Whoa! He's showing us everything.
With the left hand. Well, the right-handed right over the shoulder of Thomas Bryant now. Thank you.
We're talking about a guy who's 6'11" and Thomas Bryant, who is not a savvy defender, but we see the rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama with the slam. And it's things like that that I'm looking forward to in this upcoming NBA season. I cannot wait to sit back and enjoy these games. Right now, we're going to talk about my predictions for the upcoming NBA season. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be very exciting. I'm excited to watch young teams like the Portland Trailblazers, who have such a young core, letting go of Dame Dollar, sending him to Milwaukee, getting Drew Holiday for a second and then sending him to Boston and bringing in some nice young talent, bringing in a guy like Malcolm Brogdon who can get these young boys together, bringing in a guy like DeAndre Ayton who's going to be filling the void since they let go of Nurkic and sent him to Phoenix, bringing in a guy like Robert Williams who can back up DeAndre Ayton and bring you even more defensive intensity on the interior. And then you got that young core of Anthony Simons. You got that young core of Shaedon Sharpe. You got that young core of Jeremy Grant, and then bringing in a young man like Scoot Henderson. I'm excited to see that Portland team. I'm excited to see the revamped Phoenix Suns bringing in. Now, we saw what Devin Booker and KD did just by themselves last year. almost taking the Denver Nuggets. Well, they didn't almost take the Denver Nuggets to a game 7 or anything, but just the fight that they put up, the elevation of scoring between those two. And what did those guys do? They go out and get a bench to go along with those two superstars. And then they go out and grab a third superstar in Bradley Beal. And I'm telling you guys right now, I've been watching the highlights of these guys in the NBA preseason games, and the Phoenix Suns don't look like nothing to be messed with. That's not going to be a team to overlook. And you better get you a full night's sleep when you go play those Phoenix Suns. I don't know what's going to happen with Chris Paul and the Golden State Warriors. They're saying that they're going to start Chris Paul. I don't think it's a good idea. If you're asking Rob for his 2 cents, I think Chris Paul should lead that second unit. But Klay Thompson looked like he's getting back to form. He's been knocking down shots. And that's the last thing the NBA want to see is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson become once again the Splash Brothers, because they've been the Trash Brothers with Steph Curry only being in one game because Klay was really Brick City. But now Golden State looks like they're going to be back in form. You paid Draymond his money. He should be a happy camper. Andrew Wiggins is back. He's been looking good and fresh. And they got some young boys over there. I don't know their names, but I will be knowing their names soon. About the Lakers. The Lakers have gotten better. They kept Rui Hachimura. They bring in the Christian Wood to help stabilize their bigs, being able to play behind AD and being able to play those guys together. LeBron is going to be able to get some pressure taken off of them. They got some shooters now, bringing in a Gabe Vincent, and Austin Reeves making his next step up as a professional in the NBA. I mean, the Lakers are going to look good, and of course, we got to talk about Milwaukee. Bringing in Dame Dollar to play along Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't even have to make any more explanations. That's enough said. We're talking about probably the scariest 1-2 punch on paper. You know, I don't want to say they're scary yet until I actually see them play a real life game, not a preseason game. I want to see these boys play together. But on paper, it don't get no scarier than seeing Giannis and Dame Dollar on the same team. Like I said, not to mimic Chief Keef's song, but seeing Jan and Dame in the cut is a scary sight. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to put a lot of fear in the Eastern Conference. I like what Boston did, bringing in Porzingis, bringing over Drew Holiday. I think that backcourt is going to be amazing with Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday out there causing havoc. It's going to be a defensive-minded team. We don't know what Philly's going to do. Will James Harden come back and play? We know the issues he's been having with Daryl Morey, and I want to speak on that. James, you're wrong. You're wrong because you forced your way out of OKC. You asked for a trade, got out of OKC. You went to Houston. You formed this bond with Daryl Morey. You forced your way out of Houston, and Daryl Morey already having love for you, made sure you got to exactly where you wanted to go. You got to be able to go to Brooklyn. We know it didn't work out with you, Kyrie, and KD. But then you forced your way out of Brooklyn. Daryl Morey happens to become the president of the Philadelphia 76ers now, and then you do him wrong. It's not cool, James. It's not cool. And now you calling him a two-faced snake. That man done nothing but stand loyal by you and paid you all that money and sent you where you want to go. So if I'm Daryl Morey, hey, I'm sending your ass to the Minnesota Timberwolves or something. I'm not sending you to no Los Angeles Clippers. Are you crazy? Speaking of the Clippers, you got Kawhi and Paul George back. They've been playing some preseason basketball. Can't wait to see how they're going to be looking with Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you, it's going to be a jam-packed NBA season. And before I go, I got to talk about the Denver Nuggets because they are the reigning and defending champions. Joker is a two-time MVP and the Finals MVP from this past year. That guy just gets the job done. The only thing I worry about with the Denver Nuggets is they let most of that bench go. Bruce Brown is gone. You lost a lot of that firepower that you had that helped you win last year. And now I'm just assuming you're going to be putting heavy minutes on your starters. And unfortunately, Michael Porter Jr. is fragile. He also a guy that has a lot of injury problems. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on that. Going to be keeping our eyes on Memphis. Can Derrick Rose hold down the fort until Ja gets back from his 25-game suspension? It's going to be exciting. I want to see these two rookies battle it out. We got Chet Holmgren with OKC, and OKC looks very scary. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a dog, and I'm telling y'all right now, I don't think too many people want to play OKC, but I can't wait to see the duels between Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama over there with the Spurs, and what can he do for the San Antonio Spurs? Will he be the second coming of Tim Duncan? Will he be the second coming of the admirable David Robinson? It's going to be some exciting things happening this year in the NBA. And I just want you guys to know I am here for it. And I'm gonna give you some predictions right now. I think if you have to ask me today, I got Milwaukee winning it all, winning the NBA championship. I got Steph Curry being a three-time MVP. We know he's a two-time MVP, one-time unanimous, the only unanimous MVP ever in NBA history. I think Steph is going to be coming out focused. He's going to come out and look to be aggressive, especially, they're letting Jordan Poole go. And a lot of people are saying that they think that Jordan Poole is going to be making this next step, becoming the new James Harden, because in Washington, he's going to have the ultimate green light. It's going to be very interesting. I got Wembanyama as the rookie of the year, and I'm going to step out on a limb and say that I think that Drew Holiday might be a defensive player of the year just because of what they could do in Boston, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum already being able to play great defense. You add a defensive mind like Drew Holiday, and then I think it's going to be trouble for guards on the wing trying to play against that Boston Celtics team. It's going to be very interesting, y'all. Make sure you guys tune in next week, because due to the fact that the NBA season is back, your boy Rob is going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays around 7 p.m. You're not going to want to miss any conversations, especially about the NBA, because that's my expertise. And before I let you guys go, I've started this thing called the Video of the Week. And this video comes via my Facebook from Beaston Easton. Easton Fletcher is an 8-year-old mini bodybuilder who has mastered the craft of Ninja Warrior. If you guys have ever seen American Ninja, these guys are strong, these gals are strong, and they're able to do some amazing things. But this kid in particular, I saw the video and I was just mesmerized by it, and I thought you guys would like to see it too. Shout out to young Easton Fletcher. You guys check this out. This kid is amazing. That kid is amazing. Again, his name is Easton Fletcher. Apparently, he's an 8-year-old mini bodybuilder. He's been practicing for this. He did amazing. I got tired just watching the video. I'm like, damn, I don't remember being a kid and having that much energy or being that strong. But that kid was amazing, man. So shout out to you, young Easton Fletcher. I hope you continue to follow your dreams, man. And I hope everybody out here continue to follow their dreams, man. Remember, we only got one life to live. We see the things going on out here. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in all of these countries right now that's experiencing war. I'm not here to play the blame game. I'm not here to play politics. All I know is we're killing each other. And we already got so many things out here that's trying to take us out. Why would we take each other out, man? Let's bring peace. Let's spread love. Let's be the change that we want to be. Because right now, we never know when it's all going to be over. So if you got a dream, if you got a vision, if you got something you want to accomplish, I want you to go after it. I want you to pursue it with everything you got in you. Because it doesn't matter who's watching. It doesn't matter if you got 100 million views on your thing. If this is what makes you happy, if doing what you're doing makes you happy and it's not harming anybody and it's bettering you as a person and teaching you discipline and other things that you need to elevate and grow, and do that. I'm with you 110%, and I'll be the biggest cheerleader in the room for you. And that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I always like to bring y'all what's hot. I always like to bring y'all what's popping in the land of professional sports, man. Again, Tune in next Tuesday as I'll be discussing the NFL weekend, and then make sure you tune in on Thursday as we will be discussing the upcoming NBA season. I am here for it all, and I love you guys, man. I'd like to thank everybody who done put their 2 eyes or 4 eyes in my case on my show. I appreciate all the love you guys show. Hey, we gonna just keep going, baby. As I mention all the time, we just getting started. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. Hope you guys have a great evening. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And you already know the slogan, baby. We go.
There's a bigger fight going on. There's a much bigger agenda than the streets. And I know sometimes it's hard to see that far in front of us, but we have to look past the illusions, look past the delusions of grandeur, and look at the bigger picture. We need to become better versions of ourselves each and every day. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We just getting started, baby. You guys know the slogan now. Hope you all have a great evening. And we go.